All right, let's talk about the stock market. We're going to pull back the curtain on this thing that seems super complicated, and I promise by the end of this, you'll get what it is, how it works, and most importantly, what it all means for you.
So you hear about stocks all the time on the news, right? This stock is up, that one's down. But have you ever actually stopped and thought, where is this all happening? Is it some secret room somewhere?
You know, the easiest way to picture the stock market is to think of it like a massive worldwide flea market. Seriously. But instead of people trading things like old furniture or collectibles, they're buying and selling tiny little pieces of companies.
So, these pieces of companies, what are we actually talking about? Let's get right to the heart of it.
That piece is called a stock or a share, and it's exactly what it sounds like, a share of ownership in a company. And this is the cool part. When you buy even one share, you literally become a part owner, what they call a shareholder, in a business you know, like Apple or Amazon.
Now, what's so smart about this is that it works for everyone. Companies sell these shares to raise money, capital, so they can invent new things, build new factories, and just grow. And on your end, you buy those shares hoping the company does really well, because then your little slice of ownership becomes more valuable. Okay, so we know what a share is. But in today's world, how does that piece of a company actually get from one person to another? Let's look at how the magic happens. I mean, you can't just call up the CEO of Google and say, hey, I'll take one share, right? No, there's a super fast and organized system for this. The first thing you need is a broker. And a broker is basically your personal shopper for the stock market. It used to be a person you'd call on the phone, but these days it's almost always an app or a website. They're the ones who go out and make the trades for you.
So where does your broker go to do the shopping? They go to a stock exchange. This is the main hub, the big, organized marketplace where all the buyers and sellers meet up. You've probably heard of the big ones, like the New York Stock Exchange or the tech-heavy NASDAQ.
And believe it or not, this whole process happens in the blink of an eye. Check this out. 1. You hit buy on your app. 2. Your broker zips that order to the exchange. 3. The exchange's supercomputers instantly find someone who wants to sell what you want to buy. And 4. Boom. The deal is done. Ownership is transferred. It's like a digital handshake that happens in a split second.
Okay, so we know what a stock is, and we know how to buy one. But now for the million-dollar question, why are the prices always changing? Like every single second?
Well, it all boils down to two of the most basic ideas in the world, supply and demand. Supply is just how many shares are out there for sale, and demand is how many people want to buy them. The price you see is just the result of a constant tug-of-war between those two forces.
Just think about it. If a company announces some amazing new product, suddenly everybody wants to own a piece of that company. That's a huge spike in demand. If not many people are selling, the buyers have to offer more money to convince someone to part with their shares. And just like that, the price goes up. And you guessed it, the exact opposite is true too. If a company has some bad news, a lot of people might get nervous and rush to sell their shares. Now you've got a flood of supply. If there aren't many buyers, the sellers have to lower their price to find anyone to buy. And so the price goes down. But what causes all this supply and demand to shift around? It's not random. It's all driven by new information. Things like a company's earnings report, trends in their whole industry, big economic news, and even major world events. All of this stuff changes how people feel about a company's future, and that's what moves the price. So let's zoom out for a second. We've gone through the what and the how, but why should you care? Why does the stock market actually matter in the real world? Here's the deal. The market is so much more than just flashing numbers on a screen. It's the engine that helps power our economy. And for you personally, it's one of the most powerful ways to build wealth over the long term, by letting you share in the success of great companies. Understanding it is key to making smarter financial choices. So yeah, from the outside, the daily ups and downs can look a little chaotic, but always remember what's happening underneath. Every single trade is just a simple transfer of ownership, all based on the belief in a company's potential. It's really just about opportunity.
And that's really the foundation of it all. Now that you know how this incredible marketplace actually works, you're ready to start exploring what makes it tick. You're ready to start your journey with real confidence.